Hello, everybody. How are you? Hello. Welcome to Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am Shirley with Shirley's Threadwork. Do appreciate everybody that is in the chat, everybody that will come into the chat, and also just want to give a shout out to everybody that will be watching the replay. I thank you so much for your participation, and also I just have to again apologize. I know that the video from the replay was not good last week. I'm still battling with this internet situation, and so I'm hopeful this is better. I have changed computer, and I have worked on the internet again and all of that. So I'm hoping there's going to be some stability in this one. So far, so good. Don't know yet, but we shall see. Fingers crossed. So, hello to Sharon Davenport. How are you? Kingsbury Craft. Jenny, how are you? And who else has popped in? I think that's all I see right now. So, thank you so much. I know a couple of people have text me and said that they're going to be a little late coming in, so I know it'll be more people coming in. And I not only did I change my computer, well, I just switched computers, didn't buy a computer, switched computers, and I also switched my um, platform, my live streaming platform again. So I am doing everything I possibly can think of to try to get this thing to work. Hopefully it will. I don't know if it will or not, but I want to show you guys my Black History shirt. I hope you can see it. I am Black History is what it says. And thank you. And Sharon Davenport said, please hit the thumbs up button to help push out this video. Thank you so much for that, Sharon. Thank you so much. And Rebecca McGinnis, how are you? Thank you. Great subject tonight. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And Sweet Pearl Creation. So Pearl. I don't have my glasses on. I think I need to put them on. I probably will. And Betty, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. I am so appreciative. Let me see if they're dirty. Clean them off. I can't see. Give me a minute. Give me something to wipe my glasses with. You guys that been following me and everything, you know that I just had um what did I have? Cataract surgery in both of my eyes a few months ago. And I have to tell you, unfortunately, I'm not happy with the results because I tell you, I can't see a thing. I was hoping that my vision would get better, but it seems like it has gotten worse, especially with the close up. I used to could see really, really well close up and couldn't see hardly anything distant wise. And I know they ask you when you're going to have your lenses done or your cataract surgery, which is putting lenses in. What do you want to do? See up close or far away? And of course, I said far away because I wanted to be able to drive at night and see the signs and all of that good stuff. And I can see how to drive without glasses on, although I probably need to wear them. I can watch TV without glasses on, which wasn't a big deal. But I promise you, I can't see anything hardly at all up close anymore, which makes me not happy at all. And mainly, you guys probably could understand, is that, you got to be able to see how to thread your needles and all of that kind of stuff. And if you can't see up close, you can't see nothing. So it did not, it actually made things worse, I think, than it made it better. Um, but that's just um, me going along with it. So if anybody's ever, and this is not a cataract meeting, but I'm just telling you, if anybody's considering having cataract surgery done, do all the research, talk to your doctor, make sure whatever you choose is what is going to work out best for you. Because I have to tell you, the way I feel right now, I just kind of wish I had left it alone and let well enough be and not have it done until I was absolutely to the point where I couldn't see a darn thing. And then that would have been um, go from there. But I was hoping for a better outcome and that didn't happen. But anyway, hi, who did I see come in? I think I saw, did I see Dan? Yeah, Danielle. Hi, how are you? Thank you for stopping in. So tonight we're going to talk about, oh, I know what. I got something. Hopefully I can show you and it don't mess anything up. I'm hoping. And it kind of goes along with what it is that we're talking about tonight. But I just wanted to do this one little thing that I did. So hold on.
Everyone, welcome to Shirley's Threadwork. It's Wind Down Tuesday, so let's relax and get creative. Cheers to that.
I'm going to loop that and do it again. Do it one more time.
Hey everyone, welcome to Shirley's Threadwork. It's Wind Down Tuesday, so let's relax and get creative. Cheers to that.
Did you guys see that? Did you see that? Wasn't that cute? That was really cute. So I hope you guys saw that. I don't see anybody saying anything at all yet about my little cartoon. And So Pearl Creation, thank you. I saw this process done. Several people are doing it. You know, they got all these trends and stuff going on. So I decided that I was going to give it a try and put the two shirts together and all of that kind of stuff. So um, that's what this is the creation that I came up with. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think it all worked out really well. I got a few more things I'm going to be working on and everything. So it's not 100% perfect, but it's I did my serger, pulled my serger out and serged it up and everything and got all of my glitter, excuse me, my glitter, Caesar glitter HTV, and then I had some of this African fabric and all that kind of stuff. So it says I am Black History for my Black History Month. And I got, like I said, a couple more that I'm going to do. So you guys loved my little cartoon that I created with AI and also animated it with AI. And that's kind of part of what we're talking about, how AI is changing everything. And I know that you guys have seen a couple of them I put on my Facebook. And also, those of you that are on Facebook have seen the trend where everybody is doing those cartoons with Chat GPT or Gemini or Copilot, any of those AI platforms that's out there. And the good part about it, it is free. And the other good part about it is so simple to do. It is quick and easy and simple and fun. And so thank you guys. Sharon, you say you like the design on my shirt. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Just kind of saw some things and just kind of put my own little twist on it. And hey Val, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. And I don't think anybody else. And Kingsbury says, cheers to that. I don't even have my doggone wine. I don't even know if I got any. I think I do have a bottle in the refrigerator that I haven't opened. And I rushed up here to get things situated because believe it or not, I had to work today for a little while, not the whole day. But I'm normally off Mondays and Tuesdays, but I had to go in today for a little while, and that made me a little late getting back here to do the things that I want to do. So tonight, what are we talking about? We are talking about um, the things that let me get my topic up here. Changes. 5 big changes that are happening in the embroidery um, industry, if you want to call it an industry, or what it is you want to call it. But there are things that are changing, and mainly because of technology AI is getting involved in embroidery. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or anything like that, but embroidery is changing and we have to keep up with it. So we're going to talk about the things that are happening that are basically changing embroidery forever. And the reason it's changing it forever is because of the technology continues to evolve and you don't go back. You don't go back. These machines that are out there that's available to us now are getting more and more sophisticated. The embroidery software are becoming more and more sophisticated. AI is out there that can do so much for you. As I mentioned, that's the reason why I put the little cartoon together and did it to show you how you can just make changes without really putting a whole lot of effort into it. We all are familiar with auto digitizing. I've never really, to be honest about it, used it. I think um, the only time that I've used auto digitizing was one time using Artspira, which is a application that Brother has provided. You can get a free subscription or you can get a paid subscription. If you get the paid subscription, it does allow you to do some type of auto digitizing. And I think it's been maybe even a couple of years ago now. I Yeah, a year or two ago, because time really flies, where I actually took a picture of, well, my grandson gave me a picture, showed me a picture, and I copied the picture and I used Artspira and sent it to my 10 needle machine here, and I actually was able to stitch it out just like that. So that is also digitized. And the only thing that I had to do was put it into the computer and on my laptop and with the Artsphere software that I had access to, put my colors and all of that stuff in there and send it to my embroidery machine and stitch it out. And I don't even know where it is anymore. I showed it to you guys once before, but it came out beautifully. Now you can't, if you don't have Artsphere, you can't do it that way. You can't like take it off of the computer and put it on something else. And everything I tried, it's proprietary. They won't let you do it. But the main thing that I'm saying is that all of this is just technology. Technology is just taking over, and just we got to get with the program. So the changes aren't for the worse. They're not necessarily for the better either, but they are different. And it's important to be aware of it. And I was wondering if anybody besides me has noticed that there's any kind of changing. There's more tech, as I mentioned. There are more people that are actually getting into embroidery, believe it or not. A lot of people think the field is saturated, especially if you're thinking about trying to do some type of selling or anything like that. Oftentimes people feel like it's too many people out here that are actually doing embroidery and selling products and what have you. And you're not going to get the business and what have you, but that's not necessarily true. But there are more people that are actually stitching. I believe, and statistic pretty much says that around the time of the pandemic, in 2020 all the way up through 2021, 22, there was a mad rush into sewing and embroidery, mostly sewing because of masks, but it also bumped up to embroidery as well because a lot of people, just like myself, were decorating masks and things like that with embroidery designs. So more and more people were buying flatbed, inexpensive embroidery machines like your PE 700s and 550s and 600s and the SE 1900 and what have you, like I bought. People were buying these flatbed machines and even the other brands, Singers and so forth and so on, and getting into the field of sewing and embroidery. And when people realized that they could make money, then it just grew. And with the growth of the usage of machines, more and more some of the off-brand machines came into play. Right now, I have noticed, I don't know if any of you guys have, and if you have, go ahead and comment. You know, we want to make this interactive. So not only do I want people to listen to me, I also want you to put comments in here so we can have a conversation. But I have been noticing more and more what I might want to call off-brand, new brand, I guess, embroidery machines that are hitting the market that are considerably less expensive than some of the ones that we have become used to, like your brothers, your Berninas, your Genomes, and your Baby Locks, and your Fox, and your Husqvarnas and Vikings. All of those are the ones that we're used to that are big companies out here. But now you have pulling. How many of you have a pull-in or even know about the pull-in? Put the if you have one, comment on it. Let me know if you have it, if you're thinking about it, if you've seen one, if you tried, and what you think about it. And that's the POOLIN. And that's their flatbeds. I think it's a 6 and a 7, and they are relatively inexpensive. And believe it or not, I believe it was last week, John Deere actually had a video on YouTube where he actually did a demo on a pulling, which surprised me because I don't even know if he ever did a demo on any of the name brand machines, but he actually did a demo on a pulling and gave his opinion about what he thought about that machine. And I have looked at it, and I'm not, well, I'm not going to get it, but I do know that there are people that I'm aware of that have actually purchased it. And I do know that some of the people that I watch on YouTube myself have purchased it and they're using it, and apparently they like it. And Daniel, you saying you don't know about these brand machines. I don't know anything about them personally because I don't own one, but I do know about them as far as what is being advertised and what is being shown on YouTube, because I try to keep up with all of the new stuff that's out there. And that's one of the things that has struck me with that one. Jenny, you say you're going to stick with your brother brand. And hi, Marina, how you doing? And you said my biggest concern is the aftermarket customer service with off-brand machines. Yes, that is something to be aware of and concerned about. I finally had my baby serviced. It was time to get it serviced. And I have to be honest about it, I have gotten extremely lucky because I have found me a Justin. Honey child, I have found me a Justin right here. So I'm happy about that. And those of you that have been watching me, you probably know the conversation about Justin is a person in the DMV that will come to your home and service your machine. So I highly recommend any of you guys, wherever you are, to do your research and see if there's anywhere you can find, especially if you got a multi-needle machine, because this is not one of the heaviest machines. But there are some of these multi-needle machines, especially the quote unquote commercial ones, that are extremely heavy. And I tell you, if you can find somebody that's willing to come into your home and service it, you are one lucky, lucky person. But my baby is serviced. I got all my needles back. It's all oiled up and clean and purring like a kitten. And I'm so happy. But what I was saying, I was talking to this person about some of these other machines and everything, and he said exactly the same sentiment that you just mentioned, Marina, about getting it serviced, getting the parts, whether or not they are available to you, and whether or not there is someone that can come in, or even a place where you can take those machines and get them serviced. So that's something that you have to think about when you're buying them. Now, Soul Pearl Creation, you say you looked at the pulling before it got popular as a second machine, but my concern was the software compatibility. That's interesting. I never thought about that. And because it is an online purchase, from what I've read, I don't know if there is a support system in place that you could actually make a phone call to ask a question like that. If it has to be, but who do you call? Now, if I'm not mistaken, the pulling is associated with the same company that makes the Buy Mirror and the Buy Vision. And that's BAI, B as in boy, AI. And I do know that that's becoming a very popular machine. More and more people tend to be buying them. Some of the YouTube creators that I know that have Racomas and Brothers and some of the other machines are buying the buy as well, adding it to their collection, or even exchanging what they were using for that. One person in particular that comes to mind, which really kind of shocked me, is A-Dub. Anybody that like Val, you know A-Dub personally. He actually has bought a Buy Mirror, not Buy Mirror, Buy Vision. That's the bigger machine of the Buy product, BAI. And he did an not an unboxing, but an overview of it the other week or so ago. I watched him and he was talking about the machine and how well it works and everything. Now he did say he still had his Racomas, which I was curious about. But what really made me the most curious is what made him buy a buy. What, prompted him to do that? And I know Sean from All Things Sean that comes on here occasionally. She no longer has her Racoma. She has a buy and she loves it. And there are Angel B has a buy. I was looking at her the other day. She has a buy mirror. And there's a few more. I can't remember their names right offhand that I watch occasionally. And they all have buy mirrors. Now, I looked up the buy mirror and it's running around, if you want it to be shipped to you, it's running around $5,300. That's extremely affordable compared to this baby right here, the Melcos, the Berninas, the uh what is the SWF, I think it is, the Tajima, all of those commercial machine, and it is a commercial machine. It is a 15 needle. I think the Vision is a 20 needle, I think. They're heavy machines. They weigh 300 plus pounds. So they're not little lightweight machines. They have a large stitching field. I think they're up to like um, 14 by 16 or 20 or something like that. They have a large stitch field. So it's a definite commercial machine. Some of the advertisement that I've seen has really promoted it as a hat machine or a cap machine. If you do a lot of caps and hats and what have you, that's the machine that they recommend and so forth and so on. But it's interesting. And I think I'm kind of off topic a little bit, but I think that's one of the reasons why it is becoming so popular now because it does basically what some of these other machines that we're so comfortable with, not all of the bells and whistles that you get with your Melcos and with your Brothers and your Bernina multi-needle machines, but it does the it does what you need it to do. Put it that way. It does what you need it to do. And that's pretty much what AW was saying when he was doing his overview. He said the whole what's most important about getting a machine is not so much the brand name, but whether or not it works, which is true. But the question is, how long does it work? And if and when you have an issue, who do you call? Who do you call? And Soul Pearl Creation, they are known to be workforce machines in other countries. There you go. See, I heard the word workforce with some of the ads that they have been presenting here, and I do know that they're becoming more and more popular. And but I did not know that for other countries, so that's good to know. Now, Marina, you say you also appreciate that Brothers' computerized embroidery and sewing machines are made in Taiwan. They have a higher reputation in the machine manufacturing world. That's good to know. I think the Pullens and the Buys are affiliated with this Rich World company. I'm thinking. Uh, and I want to say they're Japanese. I'm not 100% sure, but I also think the Happy machine, and that's a machine that's been around for a while, is also a Japanese made machine. So we don't really have a lot of machines that are made here in the USA, to be honest about it. And Marina, you say you just get nervous about using their software and if it tracks. Privacy is always top concern of mine. Yeah. Um, Now you guys keep mentioning software, and what software do they have that you guys have to use? Hi, Becky. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Um, and hi, Deborah. How are you? So I was talking about tech, and that's how we got off on the machines and everything like that. And so it's just interesting to keep up with stuff like that. And then also trends are changing and with are moving faster and faster. And a lot of the trends are based upon some of the things that you can do with the machines as well as with some of the products that are being manufactured that they are encouraging you to use in conjunction with your embroidery projects. Say, for instance, this sweatshirt that I have on. Now, this is the trend where you take two different colored sweatshirts, cut them in half, and then stitch them back, serge it back together, or stitch it or whatever. I cut it in half, so therefore I got two black and yellow shirts, but it's supposed to be gold, black and gold, and but anyway, it is what it is. And I stitched it together, and then the um the design and stuff. So you can't hardly tell it because I didn't digitize it. I used some font that I had, which I wasn't 100% happy with. But anyway, it is supposed to be a double applique where I have the gold glitter, Caesar gold HTV glitter, and then you put your fabric on top of that. So you can see it a little bit, but it isn't as bold as I wanted it to be because I don't digitize. If I knew how to digitize, I would have made my satin stitch where the gold is a lot more prominent where you can see it. And then but that's kind of where they're going. People are coming up with all kinds of different ideas about um how to put things together, and the three dimension is one of them. I have this on my list further down about some of the changes that are going on in the industry, and they're getting away from just simple flat embroidery that we've been doing, kind of like my stitching up here where I have I am, which is what we're used to. We get some pretty font and just stitch a name or something on, or a design or whatever, and go on. Now you're seeing more and more texture and layering and all kinds of stuff. I just got in some sequence, so I'm going to be working with sequence. I got in the floral um fabric that you add. Now I did show you guys the t-shirt that I did, which was a sample, which this is a sample too, because I was just trying to figure it out and see how it was going to turn out. But I went on and did it the way I wanted to do it, to put it on my hoodie where I had mentioned I was going to do. And so I did the floral with the hoodie and everything. And I'm not 100% done with it, because I don't think I've cut it out exactly how I want it. But that's it. And I wanted it on a hoodie, and I don't have it on the white. I have it on this. It's called Orchid, I believe it is. But I told you guys that I am a fan uh, of texture. I love texture, 3D, all of that. I love it. So now I got some sequins in, and I got some red. I got this gold, and I got more HTV glitter and all that kind of stuff. So I'm working on these different ideas and stuff, because this is just really opening up a wonderful door for me as far as getting this dimension, 3D dimension, anything texture. I love it. I think it just makes everything pop, and it's so pretty. So I really do love that. Um, Hi, Catherine Stanley. You have the red line. Love it, and they have excellent customer service. That's good to know. And you know what? I am so glad. I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were going over different machines and everything, and I brought up the red line because, as you guys, most of you are familiar with Eve from the Baby Booties, she's the only person that I know personally that has a red line. And I've not heard anything about the red line in several years. And I was just wondering, are they even selling them anymore, or doing anything with the red lines anymore? Because that's one machine that I know has been out there for a while. And um, it's a commercial machine, 15 needle machine and everything, big machine, big sewing feel and everything. But I really just haven't heard anything about the red line in a while. So it's good to know that there are people using the red line, and they love the red line. And I don't know what they cost now, but I do remember back several years ago when Eve first got hers, and I know that's been a good 4 to 5 years ago for sure. And because it was right after I started embroidery when she got her red line. And I think she said it was running around 8,000, something like that for the red line back then. So I don't know what they're running for now, but that's been out there for a while, even before I heard anything about this buy mirror and buy visions and what have you that's out there. And Catherine, you say you have that font. I use it for a lot of applique with glitter vinyl and fabric. Yay for the sequence fabric. I have some. I haven't had time to try it. Please share when you use your sequence fabric. And hi, Marissa, how you doing? Happy Tuesday to you as well. I will definitely share. I have the gold, and my red just came in. I haven't even looked at it yet. And so, and then this is the velvet sequence, and then I have some more smaller sequence, black and a much lighter gold. I haven't done anything with sequence yet. Um, Little nervous, but if I can stitch on wood, I can stitch on sequin. And I wouldn't tell my tech. I was telling my tech all the different things I've done with my machine, but I purposely left out the fact that I had stitched wood on my machine because I didn't want to get scolded. But you can embroider on wood as long as it's the right kind of wood. So be very careful if you're going to try that. But I did try it once, and it worked out fine. Now, the five big changes, personalization has taken over, and that's one of the biggest shifts that we see in embroidery. People are very much into personalization, uh, and as we know, they can be used on just about anything. And people are more into themselves now, according to what the research is, and that's why personalization is such a big thing now, because it's a me attitude. Now, everybody is like me, 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 me. So they want their names, their initials, the things that they like, all of those things. Even back when I started with the mask and stuff, to think about the requests that were made, they were all basically for personalization, not necessarily their names. I don't recall anybody wanting their names, but they wanted things that they liked. It was a lot of people wanted the sports logos. I had doctors that wanted the doctor emblems, and I had nurses that wanted RNs and stethoscopes and things like that on it. Some of their favorite things, stuff. That's the personalization. People want to represent the stuff that they are, that they like. That's their legacy. If I'm a big uh, I'm in Kansas City, so it's the Kansas City Chiefs are the big thing here. If I want to represent the Chiefs, then I'm gonna be plastered with Chief stuff all around me. And even like with this sweatshirt that I have, I'm representing this is Black History Month. And I decided I wanted to do something for Black History Month. So I decided I was going to make this shirt for Black History Month to represent that. So that is part of the personalization that we do. And it's very, very trendy, very popular. And so that's something that has taken over and is not going to change. And we talked a little bit about technology taking over, and a lot of that is showing up in not only your machines but in the software. There are I haven't used the software, but as you guys know, John Deere now has his own digitizing software. He used to promote Hatch, and I bought my Hatch digitizing software through him. His company, Legacy, Embroidery Legacy, way back several years ago. Still haven't learned how to use it, but I did that because of his promotion and everything, and all of the things that he said that it would do. And that was the purpose. Now I have, believe it or not, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did it. I have the um, digitizing package for embroideries. I have Stitch Artist 1, 2, and 3. Why did I do that when I said I wasn't going to? Well, I start watching videos. That's usually how it turns out. And I realized that it is very easy to use if you put your mind to it. And it's a lot of things that is intuitive, just like the rest of embroideries, which I really liked. I already know the function much, so it's just learning the new digitizing function, and they're not that difficult. They're pretty straightforward. And when I realized some of the things that it would do, and even you, Danielle, I know you have 1 and 2 stitch artists, and said you weren't going to get 3, which I said the same thing. When I realized that you can do something in 1 and 2 where it would take you 2 or 3 steps to do, you can, if you got Stitch Artist 3, you can do that exact same thing with one click of the button. And that was like, whoa. That's a game changer right there. Now I can't tell you how to do anything with it yet because I'm still learning. I'm still watching and looking at videos and stuff, but I'm becoming more and more impressed. And um, so that's why I decided to do that. But it is because now softwares are making things so much easier for you. Even editing software now are moving into the AI where you just have to click. I'm on Restream, and even with StreamYard, you can push the button and tell them to create your short, and it creates your short. You don't have to do anything. You just click the button and it creates your short. I was messing around with my phone and on YouTube and realized it's almost that simple on YouTube, and I never knew that. My um, editing software, same thing. They're coming up with more and more things that is strictly AI, and that all you have to do is push the button. And I have to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised that things are that simple. As you know, you guys that were on here, and I'll show it to you again since I have a few more people on here. I want to show what I did. That little animation that I showed a few minutes ago was so simple to do. It was basically putting in your prompt and telling the AI what you're looking for and push the button and bam, it comes up with exactly what you told it to do. And if you don't like it, you just tell them to change it. I don't like that, change it. I didn't even tell the AI what to say. It came up with it itself, and it came up with exactly what I wanted it to say. So I'm going to show it again because, like I said, I have a few people on here. Hi, Joyce. How you doing? But I have a few people on here that just popped in that didn't see it. So I'm going to show it to you again. I'll probably show it again before I get off if I see a lot of people, different people pop in. But just look at it. It's really cute.
Hey everyone, welcome to Shirley's Threadwork. It's Wind Down Tuesday, so let's relax and get creative. Cheers to that. Hey everyone, welcome to Shirley's Threadwork. It's Wind Down Tuesday, so let's relax and get creative. Cheers to that.
See how cute that is? And that was just so simple, simple, simple. I did not tell AI what to say. I gave them a picture. They created the cartoon. I gave them a picture. And since I've been using AI pretty frequently, it will take the information and it's back to you, Marina, about privacy. You ain't got no privacy anymore, honey. Let me tell you, if you use a computer, your privacy is completely gone. But nonetheless, the things that I've been chatting back and forth with on my AI, and I do chat with them. I talk to them like I talk to you guys. If they mess up, tell them, I said, no, that ain't working. Try something different. I mean, I literally have conversations with them, and they come back and say, okay, Shirley, we'll do better, blah, blah, blah. But it comes up with what you want it to do. And it is too cute. I mean, it is a lot of fun. One night, last week, me and my kids and my daughter-in-laws were texting each other back and forth, and my youngest son texted an AI cartoon of one of his picture AI cartoon, and we all saw it. Oh no, how you do that? And he said, do Chat GPT, blah blah blah. And we all started doing it. And I have a whole, I know I have at least 10 or 12 pictures in my phone where all of us were, I guess we were competing against each other because we were all coming up with our AI cartoons and putting, oh, that's cute, do this, oh, that's cute, 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 cute. Everybody was doing their own little AI thing, and it was a lot of fun. It was hilarious. All of the cartoons and stuff that we came up with just talking to the Chat GPT and telling them what to do. And then I ran across this video that showed me how to animate it, and I did that. It was like, whoa, this is too cute. Hey, Robin, how are you? You made it. Good, 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 good. So, yeah. that's what's going on with AI. Um, Better machines, smarter tools, talking about AI. It's easier to start embroidering because the softwares are so intuitive now, and because of the fact that you can use your Chat GPT, Gemini, Copilot, and some of the other ones that I don't know that's out there, and basically tell them what you want. You can have them educate you on how to do something, and it will tell you how to do it. And Robin said Chat GPT is so much fun, and I was doing a picture for my mother today. See, she's got hooked. Robin has a picture out there, and it is so cute. And she's gotten hooked too. It's just easy, and it is fun. Um, and it says that handmade things are becoming more and more important. So that opens up the door for more embroidery. Now you're seeing more and more people making things that normally you would buy, like handbags, wallets, cosmetic bags, tote bags, the little box bags, zipper pouch. I mean, people are pillows, everything. People are just now doing all of these things that you used to just go to the store and buy. Now they're wanting to purchase them because they can be personalized. And the mere fact that somebody made it for them versus buying it out of the store mass produced seems to be something that people are really enjoying now. So you're getting more and more opportunities to do that. And with the the opening of more tech things, it is becoming a lot easier to do. The more digital life gets, the more people are craving handmade things, and it is creating just, you know, good thing. And I don't know if you guys are thinking about it, but I thought about it. I just mentioned that the other night, me and my family did all of these cartoons. Just think about, you could make a quilt. Those of us that supplement, can you think about what you can do with those cartoons? You can print those things out, sublimate them, and make you a quilt, a blanket. You can do shirts. You can do so many things now that who would have thought? All this DTG that's going on, it is so easy if you're not sublimating it. If you don't have a DTG machine, there's so many companies out here that will make the DTG transfer for you, and all you have to do is heat press. And can you just imagine now, those of us that are doing the little cartoon things, the different things that you can come up with? It is beyond amazing of what you can do. Um, they're saying that embroidery is one of the most human crafts you can do because you can take almost anything now. And especially when you're looking at all of these texturized fabrics that people are using and make stuff. And Marissa, you said, do you have to pay for the AI? I'm new to it. And Robin says she's using a free version. Now, there is a free version that you can use. I personally am using the paid version, and it's $20 a month. And I chose to do the paid version merely because I use my Chat GPT almost every day for different things. And when you're using the free version, they limit the usage and what you can get out of it, of course. Whereas if you pay for something, it's almost unlimited. You can do whatever you want with it. So for me, I use the paid version, but you don't have to. Like the little cartoon that I put up there, and the ones that I've made, I did those things, believe it or not, on my phone. And It was 100% free. Even the animation, it was 100% free. Didn't pay a dime for it. So, yes, you can play around with it and it is free. If you want to do more advanced things and more different things, then the opportunity is there as far as a subscription is concerned, but you don't have to. So hopefully that answers that question for you. Um, but it is fun to do, and it's addictive. It truly is addictive. Um, and it states that there's so much which you can do where you can turn your embroidery stuff that you're doing with AI into some type of income. And I don't want to keep dwelling on AI so much as the fact that the changing in embroidery period, where we can just kind of get into another mindset of what we're doing with our embroidery, where we are expanding the things that we can do. Like those of us that are venturing off into using other textures. Um, I know it's been a year or two ago when I first was introduced to Marina. You can attest to this. I think it is mm, Cut and Stitch, the dime software that you and I purchased. I think it's called Cut and Stitch, and the whole premise is to combine embroidery, HTV vinyl, and what else was it? It was and rhinestone. It was those three elements, and they're dimensional. And I did that jacket um, that you guys have seen, but that was my first venture off into doing um, a more texturized embroidery besides applique. Don't forget applique. Applique is also dimensional embroidery because you're doing layering. But when you're layering with your HTV vinyl, be it glitter or not, when you're adding rhinestone, or you're adding different types of fabrics such as your sequins, your glitter vinyl, your regular vinyl, even puff vinyl, which I've dabbled into as well, then you are moving into a different arena. You're getting away from just plain flat embroidery, which is beautiful work. But since things are changing so much, people are getting more and more interested in doing things that are a little bit more creative, um, more texture, more dimension, and more unexpected material is what, because everything is evolving and becoming more visual and tactile. Tactile means touch. People want to touch things and look at it and feel it and all of that. That's one of the things that drew me to doing the floral design with that fabric with all of the floral on there and mixing that in with the embroidery because I love the fact that it is so three-dimensional. It's 3D. I love that. It makes the embroidery more bolder, and people love to see the creativity. People really get fascinated when they see something that is different than what they've been looking at all the time. And Robin, you were saying one of the groups on YouTube is out, and they texted out for over 240,000 users. I'm not quite sure what you're saying on that, Robin. If you can't clarify that, because I'm interested in what what happened, especially if it was 240,000 people. I'm thinking you're saying that all of those little cartoon things, because I know one night, the night that I put mine out, I believe almost every I was just scrolling through YouTube, no, Facebook, just scrolling through Facebook, and all of these cartoons kept popping up, popping up, popping up, and it was a group. I believe it was an embroidery group because a lot of the people I knew, and everybody was doing their little embroidery cartoon thing, and it was so cute. So if that's what you're talking about, let me know. I thought that that was really, really cute. Um, the other thing is, it's a good side of the change because more and more people are discovering embroidery. A lot of people don't know about embroidery, believe it or not. But with all of the modern things that we're now doing, that's not like your mama, your grandmama stitching something together and putting your initial on something. That's very common. Monogram, monogram, monogram. That used to be the thing with embroidery. For me, that's exactly what drew me to the love of embroidery was monogram. I always wanted to have monogram cuffs and collars and what have you. I thought that was so pretty and sophisticated and everything. But that's all I knew, the monogram, a tile or something. And this was before I ever got into embroidery at all. I just would see it and I just loved it. I thought it was so beautiful just to see something because it looked sophisticated and everything. And then once I got into it, obviously I realized you could do more than monogram things the door just opened up. So now the door is so wide open now because people are doing so many different things. If you go on YouTube and Facebook, you're seeing people try all kinds of stuff. And it just amazes me. Now they're doing something that I've done already, and now it's a trend, and that is using the um, embroidery and rhinestone. More and more people are embroidering and then adding the rhinestone to it. So now you got to learn how to do that. And what I learned and saw, it can be done in your Cricut design space or either your silhouette business edition where you can bring your pattern in and do the rhinestone spray, if you will, around your pattern and stuff, and then do the flock and all of that template and stuff and do it, which is pretty much what I've already done, and I did that with the cut and stitch software that I got several years ago. So yeah, it is something that you can do. And then some people are actually just doing the rhinestone addition by hand, which is an option. You don't have to have all that stuff. All you need is rhinestone and glue and a good pair of tweezers and have at it. And you can add your rhinestones onto anything that you want to add it onto and go from there. But that's beginning to be a trend now where more and more people are adding their rhinestone to their design. So you're still adding that extra texture. It's all about texture and elements and dimension. So Robin, you said one of our group can't get on YouTube. They sent a group text says, I don't know whose phone number it is. I don't know who that is. They can't get on. Hmm, interesting. I didn't have my phone with me, so let me see. Who is this? Okay. I don't know how to help her. Oh, okay, I get it. There's an outage for 240,000 people. Whoa, that's scary. Didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know, Robin. I didn't have my phone with next to me, so I wasn't following the messages that you were trying to say. So, oh boy, that's not cool. But there's bad weather in some parts of the town. Becky, you said I wasn't gonna say who the person was. I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't know what's going on, but I don't. There's nothing I can do if there's a YouTube outage. There's nothing I can do. The only other thing that I can say is maybe she can get on through Facebook. I don't know if she can or not. I'm gonna text her and tell her maybe she can get on through Facebook. So hopefully she can, because I'm supposed to be broadcasting on Facebook as well. So um now with all of that said, does anybody feel like they have been keeping up with some of the changes, or do you feel like you're falling behind? Because for me, I see a lot of stuff when I'm not a big TV person where I watch a lot of different shows and stuff like that. I spend a lot of my time looking at stuff on Facebook or YouTube because I be trying to keep up with what's going on, and I can't keep up because there's so much going on and so many people out there doing all kinds of different things. And then when I find an interest, I try to look into that. But it is tons and tons and tons of people that are doing so many different types of projects. I personally feel like that I'm getting behind, and not that I want to copycat people. When I see somebody do a project that I like, that I find interesting, or even interesting and challenging, then I will try it, or at least attempt to try it, because I want to see if I can do it. I don't do it because I want to copy you, emulate you, steal your idea and make money off of it and stuff like that. I don't I don't do it. So if anybody ever sees me doing something that somebody else has done, which obviously I have and will continue to do, it is not because I'm trying to um, take whatever it is that you're doing and make it my own. I do it because I am trying to learn. That's what it is. I'm trying to learn. I see you do something and I want to try it because I want to see, oh, that looks neat, that looks cool. Can I do that? Let me see. Let me give it a try. So that's what I do. I like trying stuff because that's the whole purpose for me is learning more and more things. So it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. Now, if you guys are, oh, hey, Leslie, you made it. Good, 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 good. Glad you made it. So I said that for anybody else that I know that's a content creator and do different things and stuff, and you may see me do it too. It's not that I'm copying you. I'm just trying to learn myself and figure out can I do that as well. I'm not a digitizer, so as far as me um, coming up with a lot of my own ideas and all that kind of stuff like that, I do. I just don't know how to put it into motion because I can't just get it on. any of my platform, any of my digitizing platforms, and say I want to do X, Y, Z. I get on and look at it, and it just all looks Greek to me. So then I'm back to observing somebody else do something and copying that, trying to figure out how did they do that? Because I've even seen things that were just shorts and where they're only on there for what, 60 seconds? You said my room is flipped. I don't know what that means either, Leslie. My room is flipped. It could be. I'm on a different platform. I'm on a Restream, and it could very well be flipped. I wouldn't be surprised about it being flipped, and maybe I can fix that the next time. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be on StreamYard, because I know how to manipulate the settings and stuff on StreamYard. I'm learning how to do that on Restream. So things aren't going to always look the same because I have to use it more to become more used to all of the settings and stuff like that. So it would not surprise me at all if it is flipped, but I don't know how to do anything different right now. But maybe next week, if this one works out fine and I have a good video that comes from this, which I'm hoping that's going to be the case, then maybe I'll be able to unflip it. But right now, I'm doing the best I can because, like I said, I'm using a platform that I'm not 100% comfortable with. Um, I'm done completely with StreamYard. I don't want to deal with that one anymore. Because, and I don't know if they are the problem, so I'm not getting out here bad mouthing them. I'm just knowing that I've been having issues with my videos, as you guys know, and I'm changing everything to try to see if I can rectify my problem. Don't know what was causing my problem because I'm even on a different computer. So I'm changing stuff all the way around to try to see if I can't alleviate the issue that I've been having. You said you thought I had redecorated and moved things around. You're just looking at a different side of my room from one angle to the other because one computer is sitting over here and the other computer is sitting over there. That's what you're looking at. But that's what it is. That just went out, came back. I don't know what that happened. I hope I'm not beginning to have any more stuff going on. I'm hoping. There has been no problem with this stream. Thank you for saying that, Jenny. Again, oftentimes I don't even see it being a issue on my end until I start looking at the replay. And then when I look at the replay, that's when I can tell that it was awful. So right now, I'm not seeing anything, but um, yeah, when I look at the replay, I'll know. And yes, Leslie, I know the writing on my shirt is backward, but the video is okay. I know because it's mirrored. And I noticed that when I first went on, that it was mirrored just like I'm looking at my phone. My phone did the exact same thing. So I got to figure out how to switch the camera view so it won't be like that, but I don't know how to do that yet with this particular platform that I'm on. So I am aware of that. Thank you, Leslie. I can see, I'm looking at it now and I can see that it is backwards. Um, but it looks just like if you were looking at your phone, your writing would be backwards. So that's what it is. Why it's like that, I don't know. I'm sure it's how the camera is angled, and I'm pretty sure there's a way for me to change it, but I don't know. I'm looking at my remote. That's what I'm looking at. So I don't know if there's a way to change it or not right now, but I'm not hitting any button. I'm not taking a chance. Hit a button and it all goes haywire. I'll mess with it. I'll mess with it when I'm not on air and see if I can get it fixed. So I have it much better for us for the next thing. Okay, Leslie. Let's say uh, I'm gonna do that. So now one thing also that has changed, um, that has added to the change is social media. Pretty much what I've been talking about all night. You see more and more things on social media. Everybody has a channel. Everybody is showing you how to make something or how they make something or how they're what they're creating. And they're even on, they're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all kind. I don't even know half of the things that they're on. They People are on those platforms. I'm not on all of these different platforms, although I know I got to get with the program and do that. But it is difficult to keep up with all these different platforms and stuff. So that's one reason why I'm not on all of them. But it has made a difference in people's um, learning and knowing about what's out here. And they even have, which I'm sure you guys have seen, they even have YouTube videos and stuff where people are telling you what the latest trends are. Just like they tell you what's the hottest machine. We started off talking about all the different machines that are out there. I know at least 7 or 8 different videos over the past week talking about the different machines that are out there, sewing machines and embroidery machines and combo machines, and they're listing, the best affordable, the best one that does this, the best one that does that, the best multi, all of that, and everybody is saying this one and that one and what have you. But back to what we were talking about in the beginning, what I have very much noticed is the fact that they're talking about a lot of the machines that they're talking about are the ones that have a more affordable price point. And that is very interesting to me because things are so expensive. And I don't know if it has to do with the tariff, I'm pretty sure some of that has creeped into what prices are for certain things. I've seen it, but I'm noticing there's being more and more promotion for some of the lower priced um, machines out there. And I don't know what the quality is. And as we mentioned earlier, don't know what the support system is. And those are the things that are extremely important. You have to make sure that you have the support system that you need. And when I say support system, if something breaks, and you can get it fixed, repaired, and there is a part available, and you can get the part, and somebody can put it in if you don't know how. If you have some type of issue going on and you don't have a clue what it is, you need to be able to at least call somebody that knows something about your machine that can walk you through it. Because oftentimes you don't have to take it in or nobody has to come in. It's just a simple, you need to do XYZ. And if no one is familiar with your machine, who do you call? I'm sure, at least I'm hopeful, that these lower priced, and I don't want to say lower end, because someone mentioned that in particular the buy is a workhorse in other countries, whereas it is beginning to pick up here, which is a good thing. If it's a good workhorse machine, it's a really good thing that it's picking up here in the United States because I mean it is priced phenomenally. I think $5,300 for a 15 needle machine is pretty doggone good. And if you're anywhere close enough to an area where they have the company where you can literally go pick it up, then I think it's like 47. It's like $500 or $600 cheaper. And the thing on top of that, that includes taxes and that $5,300 they said is the tax, the shipping, and everything. That is all you pay. Now compare that to 15, 20, $25,000 for some of these machines. Five, and then you go from say $6,000 roughly, 15 on up, and that's usually what it is for a multi-needle machine. And then I don't know exactly what the pulling costs. If anybody knows, put it in the chat. But I think it's under $2,000. I'm not sure, and I know that the biggest hoop is a, if I'm not mistaken, it's not a 6 by 10. I think it's like a 7 by 11 or something along that line. It's a little bit different than the standard 6 by 10 hoop. It's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit larger. So I want to say 7 by 11, but I might be mistaken on that. And I think they have two of them. One is the pulling six, and the other one's pulling seven. And I think the seven is bigger than the six. But price wise, I'm not exactly sure. I do know it's an online machine. And I do know that from what I've read, you have to order it. You cannot go into a shop and buy it. Now, I had to put my glasses on. Now, I did not know this, but it looks like Poulin has a multi-needle machine. Did not know that. The Poulin EOC 6 is $1,400, and the Poulin EOC 7 is $1,700, according to what I just Googled. And it's an 8 by 15. Well, hallelujah. I didn't even know that. It is well, it's on sale. Regular price, so they say, is $2,000, and it is selling for 16.99. And this is the seven, and I know that's the one Angel B has. Is the seven. It is 7.9 by 15-inch hoop area with a 7-inch touchscreen computerized home embroidery. It's 35 pounds. What else? What else? What else? You get 4 hoops and some thread and a bunch of other stuff. That is so interesting. And the pulling six is a 7.9 by 11. So I was pretty close. I said 7 by 11, but it's almost an 8 by 11 for the six, and it's like $1,400. That is interesting. Interesting. 200 built-in designs. And this one was um it's Wi-Fi and UPS, USB, I mean, Wi-Fi and USB. It has what is it, 30 something memory? I don't know total memory, but it has 200. What does that say? The stitches and designs. Why would they say 200,000? Ain't no 200,000 designs. But anyway, interesting. What you know me, I love big hoops. So the mere fact that it's an 8 by 15 hoop sounds very appealing to me. I have to be honest about it. That's very appealing. And it's not even $2,000. Like I said, neither one of those machines are $2,000, and you can get one that has that big of a hoop. That is interesting to me. Not to say that I'm going to get one or even try to get one. I have no idea. I really hadn't done the research to that degree about actually trying to purchase one. But I do have to tell you, it is very interesting and tempting for me to be able to get a flatbed embroidery machine with that large of a hoop. Um, Betty, buy was no brainer for me because I just do embroidery as a hobby, no issue whatsoever. That's great to know. And Pearl, you said that's why I was thinking about it as a second machine because of the hoop size. That would be that's yes, I'm telling you. I had not, I knew about the six. I knew there was a seven. And I knew about the six because I had looked up the six. When I found out about the seven, Angel B Designs has a seven. And I was like, oh, they have a seven. I didn't know that. But I didn't move forward in looking it up. So tonight is the first that I'm finding out that is a 7 by 9 by what? What did I say? 14 size hoop. That's close. It's not as large as the Embrilliance. Not Embrilliance, the Luminaire. Because the Luminaire is like 10.5 by 16. So it's significantly larger, but that's larger than a 6 by 10. And everything that I've looked at bigger than a 5 by 7, the next one up is a 6 by 10. And I'm like, I don't want that because I can do 6 by 10 on my 10 needle. I wanted something that's bigger than what my 10 needle will do if I'm going to invest in another flatbed machine because frankly I have no room for another um multi-needle machine. um, and the other thing is, as I mentioned, the uh, by mirror is I read somewhere it was 350 pounds. Who gonna move that thing? And the by vision, which AW has, he said was 400 pounds. Who gonna move that big thing? You got to put that thing in there and forget about it. It ain't going nowhere. Not that heavy of a machine. So, that kind of wipes those things out for me, especially when I'm not in my own home, because that means it does have to move at some point. And that's a lot of machine to try to get up and down somebody's stairs and get it out. And, yeah, that's a lot of machine. But the price is very, very tempting. But this pooling what is it, EOC '07? That's tempting. 16.99. Very tempting. Very tempting. Not to say that I'm going to get it, but I tell you, it is very tempting. It would be something that I would have to do a whole lot more research on, and mainly where do you get parts from? And Marina, as you were mentioning, as far as compatibility with software, but that confuses me a little bit because it does have a USB port. It also is wireless. And if I'm using my Embrillion software, and if this one reads PES or even another format, because Embrillions can convert your format to whatever you need, I don't need to be concerned about whether or not it is compatible to my software. It just needs to be compatible to the format of the USB or the design that I'm sending it. It doesn't have to be um, it doesn't my software doesn't have to be used on the machine. I'm smiling because Catherine just said the 15 needle pooling, which I just saw, but I didn't look at the price. The 15 needle pooling is $399 on Amazon. You can get a 15 needle machine for under $4,000, girl. Y'all quit doing that to me. That's crazy. So Pearl creation. I'm waiting for John Deere final decision on. Right. Well, if you saw John Deere's presentation, he they gave it a 3, if I'm not mistaken, based on the fact that the one that he got, he had to tighten tighten the arm. He said, had it not been for that, if I remember correctly, it would have gotten a 4, I believe. He didn't say it was going to be a 5, and the reason being, he had to do some adjustments. And because he's a digitizer and all that kind of stuff, he was able to do all of the adjustments and stuff that he needed. So when he did the final stitching and everything, it stitched out perfectly. So with that being said, he did pretty much say, based upon the price of the machine, it was worth it, but he still was going to tinker around with it some more. Is that how you remember him saying? And Catherine, you said the format is DST, I mean, which is fine because this machine will read DST. And DST is like the mother of formats. Most machines, my understanding, will read a DST. Uh, so Pearl, you said that is your understanding as well. Okay. But again, back to you, Marina. With Embrilliance, you can convert your format to whatever format that you need. So the machine should be able to read. But girl, you got a luminaire. You gonna need. Let me tell you, I'm telling you what you need. If I had a luminaire, I wouldn't even be worried. I wouldn't even be concerned because you got a luminaire. Now, if you were thinking about getting another multi-needle machine because you want more needles and a bigger feel, then I can see. But I haven't heard anything about the pull-in multi-needle machine. I've only heard about the buy, and I've heard good things about the buy. I've not heard a word. Because matter of fact, I didn't even know Pullin had a multi-needle machine until just now when I pulled up Pullin and a multi-needle machine popped up and I didn't even read it. I knew it said Pullin, but I was like, that's interesting. And Marissa, you say your friend has a 6 and she uses Embrilliance with her Pullin. Right. Yeah. The software should not have anything to do with your machine because you're using your software on your computer. you're just saving it to your USB and using it in your embroidery machine. Are you doing it wireless if your embroidery machine has that capability? So as far as the software shouldn't have anything to do with it, I wouldn't think. Um, if I'm wrong, let me know. I could be totally wrong, but in my thought process, I don't see why the software would be an issue. You just have to make sure that you are converting your design to the DST if that's the only format that it uses. And Embrilliance will do that if and I know you use Embrilliance, and a lot of the softwares, the ones that, I don't know anything about Software Pro, so I can't even speak to that. But most of the softwares that cost a little change have the capability to convert. And then there are other less expensive add-on type softwares that you can pay $100 for or so forth that will convert the format as well. So really, that shouldn't be a deterrent as far as that is concerned. And when you are if and when you are buying new designs, most of the places that are pretty reputable, I guess would be the only word I can think of, have um, various formats that you can purchase. If you buy anything from Design by Juju or Embroidery Library, Urban Thread, Sweet Pea, uh, uh, Embroidery Garden, all of the ones that I use, Royal Present, all of those, they sell their software, not software, their designs in various formats. So whatever your format, even on Etsy, most designs you buy off of Etsy come in multiple formats. So there shouldn't be an issue as far as being able to get the design that you want in the format that you need. So hopefully that's an elimination of that. Now I know Crafty Puerto Rican has a pulling as well. I don't has or had. I don't know if she still has it or not because I know she got her Stella Air. So I don't know. Somebody said she took her pulling to Puerto Rico, so she'll have one there when she's there or something along that line. But anyway, I know she bought one. So that if you watch her or you communicate with her, anybody's interested, you check with her and see what she says about it. And like I said, I know Angel B Design has one. She's got the 7. And I'm trying to think, is there anybody else that I know that has the pulling? And then, like I said, I mentioned several people that have uh, the bimirror. And AW is the only one that I know that has the bi vision, which is the bigger, heavier. I think it may be 20 needles. Um, Embroidery, multi needle embroidery machine. So they're out there. And then they got one that's called Switch something, not Switch, Stitch something Stitch. I can't remember what the name of it. I don't know a lot about that machine. I have seen one or two people that actually have that machine in their studio, but I've not really looked at any videos that has uh really said too much about it. Now I did look at a couple of videos that compare machines and tell you what's the best machine for 2026 and so forth and so on. And um they have mentioned this Stitch something, and I can't remember the last part of that one. But they were saying it was a pretty decent machine. And Robin, you said Crafty Puerto Rican has 2 pullers. Okay, well, you go, girl. I knew she had one. I didn't know she had two. So she obviously likes them, and now she has the Stellaire. So she's got some machines. She's got some machines. And I am definitely seriously considering, and I've been saying this for a minute, I want a bigger stitch field. I do. I'm looking at my SE 1900. I love this little girl over here. She's been so good to me. But I tell you, and it's a really, really, really good machine that does a whole lot of stuff. I would be sad to get rid of it, but I have to tell you, I do want a larger stitch field. There are projects that I want to do in my group. We talk about doing various like the pillow I just did. Perfect example. The pillow that I showed you guys last week. Put it together. It's a 14 by 14 case, the pillowcase, which I did get the right size case now, so it looks really nice in the 14 by 14. Doesn't look overstuffed. But anyway, I want Catherine said it's the smart stitch. Okay, yeah, that's probably what it is, the smart stitch. Thank you for that. But back to what I was saying, I wanted a larger pillow. I wanted a 16 and an 18. The design is has been digitized for larger size pillows, larger than the 7 or the 14 by 14. But I can't use it on my machine. I can't use it on my machine because the next size up was 8 by 8. I did the 7 by 7, which creates the 14-inch pillow. The next size up was an 8 by 8, which creates the 16-inch pillow. And I forgot what the next one was, but it would create your um, 18 by 8. But I couldn't take advantage of those because my stitch field, even with my largest hoop, I would have had to have done the 7 by 7. I actually did used my 8 by 9 mighty hoop and did the 7 by 7. The next one up was an 8 by 8. I couldn't use my 8 by 13 mighty hoop now because even though it says 8 by 13, it's not. It's a 7.8 by whatever it is. And therefore, you're not going to get a true 8 inches. So it's going to be off. Now, could I have adjusted it and everything? Yeah. Would it turn out to be a 16-inch pillow? I'm not sure. So that is what bothers me when I want something bigger. We've made uh, totes and bags and what have you, and you end up having to make the smaller bag because of your hoop size. And this is a multi-needle machine, and you still got to make one of the smallest bags because you can't get a big enough sewing field because you need to have it at least 10 by 10, and I can't do that. So that's where the frustration comes from. Now, with this pulling that we just looked at, it was like a 7.9 by 14, so I still wouldn't be able to do anything that's a 10 by 10. So you had to think about that. Yeah, it's a 7.9 by 15-inch hoop. So I'm still stuck pretty much because I can get a 7.8 by 13 on my big machine. And on that machine it's a 7.9 by 15. So you're still limited. Still limited. That's why I need that embroidery. It's a 10 by 5 by 16. Or either get a multi-needle machine where you can get, what is it? They have like 14 by 16 or 16 by 20 or something like that where, you know, and even with my jumbo hoop, you would have to split the design, and I've never tried to do that because I just thought about you're still limited because the jumbo hoop is supposed to be a 14 by 14, but it splits the design, so you still only have it 7 by 14 on one end and 7 by 14 on the other, so you can end up with the whole thing. So, yeah, it doesn't work. Basically, it does not work. Because even when I'm doing my jacket backs and using my jumbo hoop, because brother does not read the mighty hoop, it will not make it that big. And I don't want to buy. At first, I thought about it. I said, "Well, buy the jumbo hoop from Brother," but the jumbo hoop from Brother is not magnetic, so that would still deter me from doing jacket backs because it would be virtually impossible to hoop the doggone thing with a regular hoop. I can't even see myself trying to hoop a jacket back with the plastic um, hoop. Has anybody done that? Does anybody own the regular Brother jumbo hoop, the jumbo hoop that Brother makes for their 10 needle machine? Does anybody have that jumbo hoop? And if you do, whether you're on here or listening or look at it at a later date or whatever, you can put a comment in and let me know, are you able to stitch jacket backs and what have you with that particular hoop? Because I want to know how you do that, because for me, that doesn't even look like it's possible um, to be able to hoop or jack, because I can't see myself floating it. I can't imagine myself trying to float a jacket bag. And even well, you couldn't, because with the Brother, even if you're using the mighty, even if you're using the hoop, you still have to flip it. Now, Catherine, you say you have a 13 by 16 mighty hoop and you use it on your red line. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Makes sense to me. That would work because you could do practically any reasonable design. Any reasonable design. See, I have a 14 by 14 mighty hoop that I'm using on my Brother 10 needle machine. The only thing that's unfortunate is the fact that because of the limitation of the stitching space on the um, 10 needle machine, you have to flip it, even though it's a 14 by 14. You still have to flip it, and it does one half. You flip it and it does the other half. So you still don't get the full advantage of that large size. At least I don't see how that's possible. Whereas with your hoop 13 by 16, you can put your design in there and it's going to stitch all the way until it's completely done. You don't have to flip it or do anything with it. So you're going to get um, that big size. And that works for me. That works for me. Um, and you said that the red line was, what did you, I saw somewhere about six something $1,000. Mm. The red line 1501 fifth generation is $6,350, and the sixth generation is 7,995. So that kind of reminisces what Eve said she paid for her machine, because I know she said something right around the $8,000 mark back when she got hers. And I don't know if hers fifth generation, sixth gen. I don't know what it is. I just know it's a red line, and I know that it was under $10,000. That part for sure. It was under $10,000. Remember that it was right around the $8,000 mark that I remember her saying, because she was promoting the red line pretty much then. And again, you're the second person that I know that has a red line. You and Eve. I've not seen or heard anybody else say anything about a red line machine. But I'm glad to know that you do like your machine. And with that being said, then I think it would be comfortable to consider. Who is that? All the Best Marketing LLC. Yeah, you're a little late to the party, but that's okay. It's going to be a replay, and I hope the replay plays well, since I did all these switching and changing and moving things around. And so far, so good to me. It looks like it's um, recording fine. So I'm hoping that's the case. So that would be great. And Catherine, you said yes, they recently went up when Pullen came out. Okay, yeah. Oh, I don't doubt that they gotta make a little money. Gotta make a little money. And whoever was saying smart stitch, that was you, Catherine. Do you know anything about the smart stitch machine? What little bit that I've heard just from advertisement or comparison advertisement, they were saying that it's a good machine. I have seen one or two content creator that actually uses the Smart Stitch. Don't They didn't do an overview or anything. They were doing some type of project. I just noticed that their machine that they had in the background was a Smart Stitch embroidery machine. And so I said, okay, well, there are people out there actually buying those machines, obviously, and they must be working well for them. So you said that, Catherine, you said I'm assuming you meant your red line was $5,000. You think? I think that's what you're saying. Which that ain't bad. That's like the pulling. The pulling is 5,300. That is not a bad price. Catherine, you said they send a lot of replacement parts and they have videos for everything. And that's for your red line. And I know that um Eve said that you had to do your own repairs and stuff like that. And I think most of the industrial machines or commercial machines per se does require you to do your own repairs. You're your own technician. You got to do your own adjustment and screwing it and oiling it and taking it apart and lubricating and all of that kind of stuff. You have to do all those things yourself, unless you know somebody that will actually come in and do it, because the machines are so big and heavy. People aren't moving them in and out of their place of business or home or whatever. So you do end up having to do your own stuff. And if you're not used to a commercial machine, you use commercial needles, which they are round, and you will get used to and learn how to insert it. But I have to tell you, in the beginning, it is a challenge, because even though it seems like you just stick it in the hole, you don't. You have to know the anatomy of the needle, because you have to make sure that it is facing forward. And whether you know it or not, there is a backwards and a forward of the needle. And you have to make sure that it is 100% straight. And there are apparatuses that you have to use or should use to guarantee that your needle is in the hole straight, facing front, because if it isn't, you're going to have thread breaks like crazy. I know that for a fact, personally. So that would be something that you would have to learn how to do and get used to. Which, I mean, it can be a challenge, but it's doable. It's workable. It becomes second nature after a while. I had a machine that used round needles, so I know that, how that goes. Um, but that is a challenge, and all of them you thread yourself. If they're not self-threading like the brother machine where it's self-threading, you have to actually thread all 15 of your needles or 10 of your needles or 20 of your needles, however 16, however many needles you have. You have to literally thread it through the hole yourself. Um, so there are things that you have to do that is different than if you have a brother. I don't know about brother or baby lock. Brother and baby lock work pretty much the same. So if you have those machines, then yeah, that's what you have to do. So you can be those of us that have our brothers and our baby lock, I'm sure we're spoiled, and it probably would drive you crazy to change over and have to do those things yourself, especially if you've never done it before. It probably would like, oh my goodness. But again, like I said, you'll get used to it. For me, I did the opposite. I did the round needles and all that kind of thread my needles and all that kind of stuff first. Then I went to the brothers. So um, it was easy for me to do the brothers because I had already done the other one hard. And then the brother was like, yeah, piece of cake. So if I needed to go back to doing those kinds of things, I could do it because I've done it before. It's no big deal. You just have to get used to it. Eventually, become second nature. Especially, I think for me, since I already know up front what the expectation is. But Catherine, you were saying yes to the needle. Yeah, it is. It can be frustrating a little bit, but that's all part of it. And I think the needles are less expensive too. I think they are. Not, I don't remember, but I think they are less expensive than the flat needles that we get. And I even have trouble getting my flat needles in sometimes. So you still got to make sure that thing is turned straight. So it doesn't really matter, regardless of which one you have. You got to see what you're doing and pay attention because you got to get it in there correctly. So there will be a meeting tomorrow night for those of you that are part of the social society. We're going to get together and we are supposed to be coming with our project idea for our next project. So put your thinking cap on and come to the meeting tomorrow night with some suggestions so we can vote on it and move forward and get started on it. So I'm telling you guys up front, come in with some ideas. I don't have the ideas. This is a democracy. So we all have to pitch in and come up with suggestions and stuff of what we're going to do as our next project. And hopefully something fun, something challenging, and something that we all will enjoy. Don't know what that is yet, but I will come up with some suggestions as well. But that's what we will be doing tomorrow night. And for Leslie and Marina, get back with me about the sneaker situation so we can move forward with that as well. You guys don't mind. So we are moving on to the 10 o'clock mark for those of you that are in the east. Those of us that are in central, it is 9. And Marissa, you're out on the West Coast. I'm assuming it's 7. Trying to keep up with my time frame here. But nonetheless, I do have to go to work tomorrow. So I am going to say good night to everybody. Hopefully, I will get a chance to see you guys next time, and hopefully, I will have a project that has been done using my sequence. That's my plan because I know somebody said they wanted to see it. I want to see it too. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but I am going to do something with my sequence. And yeah, I'm gonna have all these sweatshirts and hoodies, and what am I gonna do with them? I don't know. Betty, thanks for an interesting topic. You're welcome, and have a great week. Great rest of your week, and until I see you guys, have a blessed rest of your week. You guys take care. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Don't forget the thumbs up, please. Comments, questions, all of that. And Robin, you say you'll catch up with the replay, and I know you'll be late tomorrow night. No big deal. I will see you when you get there. Marissa, I hope you can join tomorrow night. We will be on. We start at 8 o'clock Eastern now, so that will be what your 6 6 or 7 6 o'clock? No, 7 o'clock. No, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, I guess. 5 o'clock. But anyway, whenever you can show up, it's just fine. So I will see you guys. You guys take care. And I do appreciate you. Bye bye. Good night.